feeling like sunshine, like springtime, like something's in the water and I'm taking a deep dive. I'm feeling so weightless, like I'm gonna make it, and nothing in the universe can take this. I can see it clearly now, nothing gonna bring me down. I got my head held high, I'm on my way, and I'm following the signs to my happy place. I'm walking in the light of a brand new day, and I'm right where I belong in my happy place. I got my head held high, I'm on my way, and I'm following the signs to my happy place. I'm walking in the light of a brand new day, and I'm right where I belong in my happy place. And I'm right where I belong in my happy place. And I'm right where I belong in my happy place.
Welcome to the National University of Singapore Yong-Loo School of Medicine Healthy Longevity webinar. It's great to have you all with us tonight. Professor Yu-Xuan Lyu is our guest, talking about a very important topic, and that's supplement in the Asian market. I'm sure this will trigger many questions, so please use the Q&A function to start this interaction with each other. The short presentation today will be given by Dr. Fukai Zhang, a research fellow at the NUS Healthy Longevity Program, talking about spatial temporal survival of mesenchymal stem cells in mice.
Thanks a lot for your kind introduction. As mentioned, I'm Fukai Zhang, a postdoc from Brian Kennedy's lab. Today, I'm going to share my work on investigation of spatial temporal survivability of mesenchymal stem cell, MSC in short, in mice. The MSC is defined as a multipotent stem cell, which can differentiate into three populations. To verify MSCs, CD73, CD90, CD105 usually serve as positive surface markers, while CD11B, CD45 should not be expressed in MSC. Nowadays, more and more MSC therapy are being introduced into the clinical mainly because MSC's capability of anti-inflammation, immunomodulation, bone repair, as well as stem cell-like properties. Different from other stem cells, MSC has a low expression level of MHC1 on its surface, which means less intracellular peptides will be presented by MSC. In the meantime, because MSC is lack of HLA-DR expression, it's unable to display the extracellular peptides. Factors secreted by senescent cells known as senescent-associated secretory phenotype, SASP, promote chronic inflammation and can induce senescence in normal cells. At the same time, chronic inflammation accelerates the senescence of immune cells, resulting in weakened immune function and inability to clear senescent cells and inflammatory factors, which create a positive feedback of inflammation and senescence. Based on the features of MSC, for example, inhibition of pro-inflammatory, promoting anti-inflammatory reactions, systemic and chronic inflammation should be reduced, which makes us believe it would be a powerful candidate of cell therapy in improving healthy longevity. The aim of my study is divided into short-term and long-term parts. The short-term goal is to differentiate human iPSC into MSCs and verification. The long-term goal is to investigate the spatial and temporal solubility of MSC after injecting into mouse muscle. Here's the result part. After about 8-day treatment, iPSC are differentiated into MSC in our lab, which are confirmed by checking positive and negative surface marker with Western blot. The GFP image on the right suggests that the MSC still contain and express the GFP protein. In addition to the Western blot confirmation, we also performed the immunofluorescence onto the positive and negative markers of MSC to verify those cells are MSCs. From here, you can see on the top two panels, CD73 and CD105 are expressed in all 12 days post-injection. The negative marker CD45 cannot be identified in any cell. Taken together, our differentiation protocol is not only highly efficient, but also specific marker of differentiating iPSC into MSC. To the long-term goal, the first thing we need to confirm is the best way to detect MSC from mouse body. To do this, we injected iPSC-derived MSC into mouse, harvested 1 day post-injection, then tested different methods including PCR, live imaging, Western blot, immunofluorescence, as well as flow cytometry with different tissues. In the end, we confirmed that only flow cytometry is the efficient way of detecting injected MSC from mouse tissues, as you can see from the population gating. For example, the very left triangle indicates the GIP positive cell, which are those injected cells. The Q2 on the next image here is those cells express both CD73 and CD105, which should be the MSC. On the left is the sample we inject with Matrigel. On the right is the one without Matrigel. Our result didn't show any significant difference between them. From here, we can see hypoimmunogenetic MSC can survive at least 1 day in mouse body, which is the first reported in the world. By doing longer monitoring, we will explain whether the MSC can survive longer and the potential as a stem cell therapy. So the take-home message here is, first, we successfully differentiate 5 strains of iPSC into MSC. Secondly, flow cytometry has been confirmed as the best for now way of detecting engraft MSC from mouse muscle. Thirdly, human iPSC-derived MSC can be detected and isolated from mouse muscle after injection, which provide a good candidate of stem cell therapy in the future. Okay, that's all. Thanks a lot for your attention.
Thank you so much. Wonderful preclinical work, and hopefully that will translate to better stem cell therapies in humans in the end. So we are looking forward to your results. To our guest, Yu-Xuan Lyu is Research Assistant Professor at the Institute of Advanced Biotechnology of the Southern University of Science and Technology in China. But he is also lecturer at the Geneva College of Longevity Science. And he also co-founded a startup project, and that's FlyvoTech in Germany, aiming to discover new compounds, who doesn't want that, for healthy longevity, and as a support of the Max Planck innovation. He is one of the prominent rapamycin researchers, and his research really focuses on the biological mechanisms underlying sex differences in response to lifespan extension interventions. But today he is talking about something else, and that's about the longevity market and customer perspectives on anti-aging products in East Asia. The floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, Andrea. It's my great honor to be here to present my idea and insights. And as you mentioned, I'm just going to share my screen. Despite that, I'm kind of like a researcher, but this presentation, which actually I initiated with our Boston consulting group in China. So we've done some research together last year. So it blew my mind and actually also changed my research direction, which I can tell you later on. So I'm just going to kick this off. Okay. So I'm going to just show you the world map. I think we see commonly, right? So, but I would going to just tell you that in the next 5 seconds that this format is somehow misleading. And I think maybe if you are working on the aging field, that I guess you already understand what I'm going to tell you. Because if you're going to just look into the population, and then we will have another world map, mainly that the Asian population, especially the people from the East Asia, East South, and also the South Asia is basically dominant the world population at the moment. And if you also go into a deeper to look into the aging population, actually found that the aging population is growing rapidly, especially in East Asia. And if you can see that the main three countries, so South Korea, China, and Japan. So Japan is already kind of leading the senior population, which is already surpass the 30% of population that's age 65 and older. But China and South Korea are also going to just increase their age population rapidly in the next 5 or 10 years. So that's actually create a lot of stress and an opportunity for the people, right? So today I'm going to share, as I mentioned, this recently surveyed that we conduct with the Boston Consulting Group in China. And so first of all, we are mainly focused in China because that is the biggest aging population in the coming next decades. So the first, I will try to just share some of our data about the consumer portraits in China. So we try to actually categorize as somehow we generally believe that when we look into the consumer portraits, we found that we do have some similarity between China or East Asia to the West countries. So we do have biohackers, and we also have analyses. So the biohacker, which we also define that is a broad, professional, and embrace the new technologies, right? So those people are mainly like a celebrity, successful businessmen, and some researchers as well. So why we defined their biohacker? Because based on our survey we found that they are willing to choose this advanced anti-aging method or geroprotective method, including some emerging and risky therapies. And so that is a common thing we believe that they are biohacker. But though this biohacker probably only consists of the population like maybe 0.01% in the anti-aging consumer in China. But we do have a slightly bigger in SUSTech, which we put them as enthusiasts because they are also proactive and high educated and also high spend. And they would like to also spend a lot of money as biohackers, but they are more choose the safe or kind of like a safe way to take some kind of like therapies. So that means they are not very keen to take like a stem cell or the gene editing therapy, which we believe maybe have a bright future, but at the moment is still not very understand their safety profile. They rather to take like small molecular compounds, including the supplements, as well as some repurposing drugs like metformin, rapamycin that we've heard. But more importantly, when we look into the customer population, we found that 95 on up to 99% of the anti-aging customer, at least in China, they are more like follow the trends. So they also have two different groups. One is age around 40 plus, mostly 40 to 55 years old, and they mainly just need like some anti-aging need they found is lack of energy, poor immunity, and organ or sexual function declines. So they really want to have a specific intervention that can improve those specific needs. But also, we also found that even under the 40 years old, especially like maybe 30 to 40, those mainly from the women, they also want to have anti-aging need. But that is more like for the visible fat, like the facial aging, largely preventative, and they do also want to have a very light anti-aging intervention, like more traditional way, like exercise, dietary therapy, and oral supplement. This including NAD+, PQQ, and other common ingredients. And so that is one of the first take-home message, which I found the major consumer are more towards to the concept of anti-aging than the healthy longevity. I will explain you to more later what that means. But let's just try to jump into the next slide. So when we go into mainly focus on the supplement, we found that there are several factor consideration in purchasing supplement. So that is of course another survey based in Chinese consumers. But mainly they found that the most consumer, the first factor or the first consideration they would take, the efficacy. So that means they want to find something that is even though maybe expensive, but that it should going to work. And then the second and the third is like ingredient, price, technology, And so those things is quite interesting because they do not very keen on take the well-named brand, like some like very famous brand. They rather take the new brand like a small brand because they believe the high technology somehow maybe comes from the small brand, but not the well-known brand. So that is something we also kind of take into that account when we do the research in the later on. And so, but that's another very interesting definition. Is like when we ask another question to this, in this survey, we found that how they defined anti-aging or geroprotective launch supplement, they would try to say that the anti-aging supplement should contain high-tech ingredients, so like NAD plus or spermidine or something that they often see. And this ingredient comes up in like Nature Science or Cell. So those paper recently, they believe that belongs to the high-tech ingredients. And then the second is like it cannot easily get from food. So that means they would more going to buy that, okay, they were going to say that, okay, those supplement maybe is not easy to get from the food or maybe from the wine or whatever. They rather to buy it because they believe that the ingredient or the supplement they get is very hard to get from food. And then, of course, they believe that the anti-aging supplement should have a clear target cellular mechanisms like a biological mechanism on aging and higher purity and of course better absorption and also high-end expensive. So the price is something also interesting. The people tend to spend more money to buy the anti-aging supplement. So that means if you are selling the supplement, if you categorize your supplement as anti-aging, and you should not sell it under maybe $10 because no one believes that should belongs to the anti-aging supplement. So they would rather belongs that is more traditional things like the traditional medicine or natural products, which also can easily get from food or you can also buy it quickly. So so that means if you're trying to categorize the most common or popular anti-aging things, supplement we can get around the world, we found that like the NR, MMN, or spermidine or urine A, so those things, they believe that that's more towards the anti-aging side. But the coenzyme Q10s and as well as like a vitamin or probiotics, even though we also know that that's not very anti-aging definition, right? But they also believe that that's more like a traditional thing. Despite that it can improve your health, but they should not belong to the anti-aging supplement category. Okay, so so that also means that traditional medicine has yet to be considered anti-aging. So that is something I believe, I believe it will change quickly in the future because nowadays we also see that quite a lot of researcher and also the company is starting to get into the traditional medicine side, and they also want to find out some new ingredient from the traditional medicine. But at that moment, yet is to be considered for anti-aging usage. And we also found that there are very interesting regarding the sex differences between the choices of anti-aging supplement between women and men. So in this slide, as you can see that in general, women's have more knowledgeable in terms of anti-aging supplements because I think they're more awareness on their health and also their visible situations, and they also know more information regarding to like the NR and MM or the other supplement compared to the men's, and men's more keen to just say that they're not very keen to get into the prevention way. They're more likely to, okay, if once I have some situation or disorder, I will try to take. So they are not keen to do the prevention way to deal with those things. So that actually we have also very interesting another slide to show that at the moment, at least in the China market, so around 90% of the buyer of anti-aging supplement are women. So that is something you may be also interesting to know when you design the product to try to deal with that. So if I'm going to just summarize the factor of the consideration in purchasing product, we can see that there's two things. First thing is the sex differences, as I already mentioned, and there are also differences between different age group. So at least in China or maybe also in the East Asia, so the woman age kind of like around the middle age from 30 to 45 or maybe up to 55 are the most dissatisfied with their health condition, and also they will try to spend a lot of money to buy the anti-aging supplements to fulfill their need and at least trying to make them live healthier. So that is also my suggestions in the future. So, and if I'm going to design a product, and especially for the supplement for anti-aging usage, and maybe this middle-aged women, it will be the most important, customer group that we should consider. So that's also kind of in line with the ovarian aging, reproductive aging at this point. Maybe that is something actually getting in line with in the futures. Okay, so let me just try to, okay, so that is the second take-home message, as already mentioned. I'm not going to repeat, but just keep in mind that the mid-age women will be the biggest consumer group for anti-aging market, at least at this moment. Okay, so after we finish our surveys, we also want to explain our view to the industry landscape in China and also in the East Asia, because we need to find something if actually the industry is going to catch up the need from the customer, right? So then we did a follow-up survey to look into the landscape in China. So first of all, we're trying to summarize, and not only in China, but also all the things around the world. And we found that it's a very interesting thing that actually the anti-aging or maybe the healthy longevity concept is start from United States, I think, which makes sense. We know that, 50 years ago, the NIH has already set up the National Institute on Aging. And then we found that Japan is also leading taking the lead in the East Asia. But then we found that most of the government support, including like established Institute for Aging with government support, mainly from maybe Australia, Europe, and also very recently, we found that Singapore established the world's first government-funded anti-aging research institute. So there's the Center of Healthy Longevity. That's where we are at the moment. And we also found the evolution. So the Middle East, the Gulf country also established evolution and also other things to support healthy aging. But China actually comes relatively late, because only 1 year ago, I think it's January last year, so China State Council released the #1 document we call the Silver Economic document to support the anti-aging industry for the first time. So that is for the government support. But when we look into the private investments, so more like from the people from the market, we still found that the East Asia is lacking. There is a big private investment on anti-aging companies. So most of the thing, including Calico Bug and also Anton's lab or BioAge labs, so those things mainly happens in the Western country at the moment. Despite that, we do believe that maybe in 5 years we will have some more new company comes up in China, in Japan, and also in Korea. So that's something we'll be happy to discuss later on. But nevertheless, as I already mentioned, because supplement is one of the essential part for the anti-aging intervention compared to diet, and also compared to the other more like sport and traditional things, because supplement is relatively easy. So we also ask our customer and responder in the survey, so what they would like to take. They also say that I would like to just spend maybe 1 minute or maximum 5 minutes per day, so to deal with my anti-aging need. So supplement probably the best way regarding in this case. Okay, So when we look in deeper, we found that the current anti-aging market landscape in China is mainly consists with three category, or maybe just two, let's say. So the left-hand side is more like the cosmetic things, so like your skin, your face, using maybe the cream, or maybe using the using the medicine, like the laser or the other, to deal with your skin issues, right? So that is more like your skin aging. And the left-hand side, at the moment, at least in China, we only see, or maybe we mainly see the supplement company, including like the Amway, Pfizer, and also a lot of different MMM and the other ingredient companies popping up. So we're still lacking this unregulated, let's say, test like aging clocks. Pharma is still lacking, despite that we can count one, maybe two or three maximum. And longevity clinic, something I think is very important in the future, that if we really want to push the healthy longevity or anti-aging things forward. Okay, so but the cool thing is that actually even though we talk about the anti-aging supplement, but the landscape of a popular supplement in China is rapidly evolving. So if we look to the left-hand side, so in 2022, we mainly see that 92% or over 90% of us anti-aging supplement is NAD plus precursor. I think it's mainly the MMN and NR. And then when we get into the 2024, maybe just the H1, we found that the NAD plus is decreasing because of one of the reasons, because the MMN got banned to get into China, and also because like the PQQ and also the other ingredient just popping up. So that people are also have a more option to choose not only the NAD plus but also the other things. But we also see that many customers, especially the high-end customer, they're also trying to get the supplement not in China but also from abroad. So because then they could have more choice, including like the quercetin, this urolithin 8 or spermidine, and also the alpha, the AKG, etc. And we also see that some people prefer to use the gut microbiome, including like the AKK and also the other things, to also improve their gut health. And they also believe that can slow down their gut aging as well. Okay, so that is I'm going to jump into the take-home message 3. So the supplement and cosmetic company are dominant in the anti-aging field in China at the moment, and we believe that maybe in the 5 years it will change differently, because you will see that every year it changes rapidly. But that's what we'll see at the moment. So supplement is kind of important at the moment. And the last but the least, I think for the final part of my slide, I will also talk about the discrepancy and the irregularity in anti-aging regimes. So first of all, because I have been working in aging research, I think since 15 years ago, and then I joined Linda Partridge's lab in Germany, Max Planck Institute 10 years ago. So at that moment, we are mainly talk about the like molecular level, cellular level, the hallmarks, and also the pillars of aging, right? So that is that's what we focus as researchers. And then nowadays we also trying to use drug to extend maybe the small animals' health span and also the lifespan. So that is mainly what we do as a researchers. But when we do the survey, we actually found that the consumer is hardly understand the molecular and cellular level, because they are lay public, they are not trained as a researchers. So they do not really believe some of the hallmarks, because this is very far from them. And also, if we look into like extend the health span and also extend the lifespan, I think that's also for them is very far away. So especially if you look into the consumer in China, they're mainly like middle-aged people, and they do not believe that they take those supplement or intervention just few years or maybe 10 years, they can get the lifespan extension or health span extension in their 17 or 18. So that is something they also hard to believe. So they're more focused on the organ and system level, like the brain, improve your energy and sleep, skin, keep the skin firm and prevent hair loss, reproduction, of course, metabolism, so like something like prevent weight gain, So that is something actually the majority need is from the middle part, so not from the molecular and also more from the organismal level. Yeah, so that is that's why consumer is more towards to the concept of anti-aging than the healthy longevity. So that's what we also got from our survey. And if we're going to try to look into more detail, so we also see the very interesting the differences between women and men. So women is more, of course, I think is, the facial is the first thing, right? So that's really easy to see. The majority is want to have anti-aging stuff, which is help their facial looks nicer. Then their weight and also the sleep and hair loss. But we also see that like the menopause, anti-frailty, and intimate air care. So that is something that the women is more care about that. And for men, they don't very care about the facial, that at least in China. So that's what we found. There are many care about like the sleep, the cognitive ability of maintenance, so like mainly related to brain, and also the sexual ability maintenance. So, and of course the other things they also care, but like this brain, sleep, and also the sexual ability is something that the men care the most in China at the moment. Okay, so but we also see that the current anti-aging supplement market has many in regulatory. So that is not only in China, I think that it's mostly everywhere. Because one of the things that is the supplement is relatively, unregulated. So many companies, when they promote their supplement or formulation, they actually lack of a scientific evidence for safety, effectiveness, and use specificity. And also the amount of activity ingredient is low, not reaching the effective dosage. I think that is something, Andrea, your review also mentioned this. I'm not going to repeat that. But then we also have an issue like the product are poorly on quality and also exaggerate advertising. And some people, I think that's too much at the moment. So that's the last take-home message. There's a big gap between the research and lay public on the anti-aging and healthy longevity, including the regulation, but also the conceptions on what we need, for anti-aging or healthy longevity. So, just a few minutes left. I will try to just provocative, just share some thing we believe is very important from anti-aging to healthy longevity. What could we do to improve that? So I think that is one of the reasons why I joined the Geneva College of Longevity Science, because we're trying to connect the global longevity ecosystem to build up the longevity science education. So but this is not only the GCLS, of course, we also have a lot of people like Brian, and also we have like Andrea, and I think the NUS also doing very good jobs in terms of education. So that is something we're trying to mimic your efforts and also trying to bring to China. So as you can see that, so from last year on, I also set up the longevity webinar in China, because China people cannot, as in not many Chinese people can understand English easy. So we're trying to invite the people mainly who can speak Chinese, and we're also trying to share the longevity science to the lay public. So I think it's very well, because I think every section that we have like 1,000 people to attend and also ask loads of questions. But of course, we also established longevity science communication committees to trying to have influence the legislations, to trying to also do more things to help the lay public to understand what we're doing, and also the researcher can understand what the lay public needs from us. So that is my last slide, and thanks a lot, and I will be happy to take all the questions from your side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful research, and very enlightening, especially about the sex differences and the age differences. But let me start with first asking you, the first survey results, you had a priority list. So it's very important that supplements are effective, the ingredients inside, and don't give free samples. It's the lowest in the hierarchy. I think that's a learning. But what is the perception? What is efficacy? is it efficacy in mice? Is that fine, or should it be effective in humans? Do you have any more insights?
Thanks a lot. So it really depends on the whether whether you are a biohacker, you're in or trend followers, right? For the biohacker, because they know more information, they actually can they sometimes they are even the researchers, so they do experiment. So they will keen to have the human trial before they are going to say that these supplements are going to have a good efficacy, right? But for the lay public, I think because for most of the lay public said they don't really go into the publication to read the publication, so somehow they would just see the advertisement, and most of the company, when they do the advertisement, they would try to skip mice or maybe even C. elegans or even the fruit flies to say okay, those supplements can extend your lifespan, also health span, like the sleeping. And so they believe that they were trying to check it, and then maybe when you read the original article, okay, they will just increase maybe your sleep patterns in flies. So of course, fly is not a very nice model because I've been working on flies, since 2014, but it's still very far away from fly to human to really say that that's something. And yeah, so I hope that in the future, when we talk about the efficacy, we have a kind of like a standard. The efficacy should comes from the human trial. So that's what I would be happy to see. Thanks.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And I think that's a little bit, that's a knowledge gap we have to maybe address, and maybe even more frequently in this webinar, we'll have specific webinars on it where the evidence is coming from. But do you think that it's a problem? Like it's a grass, so it's in principle, it might work, has not much side effects. So what's your personal opinion that the marketing is so different from maybe, or exaggerated compared to the evidence really we as researchers would interpret?
Good. I think one of the things that I would say that, let's just put into the side that for the industry, right? Because the industry needs new things, to sell their product every year or even every season. So they need new things, but the new thing is not that easy to come up from as a researcher, right? So somehow they're trying to move a bit faster, trying to sell the stuff as long as they can make it safe in that way, right? So that means they will somehow skip some of the important information, and also trying to lower the real actual dose, because that may be also kind of like a safer option, right? Because some of the supplements or maybe even the compounds that we do not know if we're going to take that level may be safer, but if we're going to increase the level which to reach to the anti-aging effect, maybe that's a kind of like a risky for long term. So they're trying to lower the safe, lower the dosage to try to keep it safe. Because for most of the supplement regulation, I think as long as it's safe, they don't care about whether it's effective. So I think that's the thing. So yeah.
Yes, I think that's I wouldn't say it's true, but partly. And I think that yes. Okay. So maybe staying a little bit on the financial side, and then of the customers, of the ones who are buying it. Do you have any idea how much people are willing to pay per month, for example, for an anti-aging supplements? So more expensive is better, we heard. So don't give free samples and make it more expensive.
Okay.
But how much?
So at least in China, I would say for the mid-aged people, and I would say 500 to 3,000 yuan per month. Let's say that in that way is around $80 US dollar to maybe $400 US dollar per month. I think it's still kind of in a reasonable range. Despite that, I know some biohacker they have tons of supplement. I think one of biohacker just showed me that okay, she's going to take maybe she has different bags. So one bag like this tons, she's going to take maybe 1 or 2 days or maybe three days, and that's a bag. and she spent, I think, more than around, let's say, 4,000 dollars per month. I think but that's not very, that's very, I mean, go to the limit. And because that's also something that I think supplement, because the natural of a supplement. So the people believe that they should be kind of in the middle range of the price, because if you have more money, they will go for like a stem cell or gene therapy, because they believe that's more expensive. I mean, they deserve more expensive, despite that whether that is more effective. That's we don't know yet. At least we don't have a human trial for comparison. Those things. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much to really highlight that this is belief, and we do not know, and there is no human evidence what is better, and even what works. So, okay, how do you have ideas how customers choose their supplements? Is it so because if one brand, so it's independent of brand, you already told us. So if it's a new brand, it might be even more attractive because they say and claim it's more effective. But do you choose on the label on the bottle and the color, or the colorfulness, or how?
Well, that is a very good question. So I don't really know, because the trend change every year, but I can tell you that I think for the majority of a customer, I mean, there's a top three. So first is the influencer. So they believe the influencer, I mean, especially no matter on Instagram or maybe on the Weibo or WeChat or somehow. So they believe that. And the second, they believe their friends. So the best way is trying to, you need to find who has a lot of friends, and then trying to influence he or she, and then they will try to, I mean, spread the news to those. And I think, and the people are kind of like very want to buy the personalized supplement. So if we're saying that, okay, this is specific for this age group people, and especially for maybe your repetitive aging or something. So they don't want to just say that that's anti-aging, because it's a very, very broad concept. So for most of the lay public, they do not really understand what that means, anti-aging or maybe healthy longevity, right? Because it's very vague to them. So they would like to say, okay, you take this pill, and then the next 1 week or maybe 2 weeks, your brain will act crazily, so you can just work maybe 24 hours per day, something like that. So they would like to have something very specific. So that is also things that compared to what we do in general, right? As a researcher, we're trying to find the more meta supplement or intervention, let's say, trying to improve the overall health, but they don't really want that. They want to just say, okay, you boost that, and that's it. So yeah, so that has also changed my what my research direction. So I also trying to design more specific to specific organs, and trying to show that, okay, the compound works on that way.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, great. So and very surprisingly, you showed that females buy more supplements at the age of 30 to 45. So that's the customer base in China. Do you have any idea if people buy it, so maybe females more than males, if they also take it?
That's good questions. We did not ask that in that way. But I think, but I do know that when we ask the people whether you buy this supplement for your boyfriend or your husband or your kids, they say no. That's for me. So
okay,
so
that was actually the question I was hunting for. Is females buying it and male taking it?
Okay. No, they don't. They. I think. I also think that at least in China. So let's say that the guy is not very, I mean, care about their outlook. I mean, most of the people, not everyone, but yeah. So that's why I can tell you.
But maybe, so you say that women care for the outer beauty. So the question is then the males, are they caring more about the inner beauty? But maybe that's a different question. But it was quite striking that you said that the women, being at the younger age group, 30, oh, I feel young, 30 to 45, they are taking the supplements. What we learned from healthy longevity medicine clinics, that 40 to 60-year-old males come. So is it more that that males are coming more to the clinic, so really do the interventions, and that the females are staying at home, not medicalizing it, and try to solve it either via aesthetics or via supplements?
Okay, so I think that's a very good question. So I also heard some anecdote in China that this like a 50 to 65 with many like males, they go to the clinic. I mean, this unregulated clinic, because we do not have our official longevity clinic in China, but they will go there. They will mainly like do the full body examination, and then they will take many like a stem cell therapy, because they believe that as a one shot can cure everything. So I think the concept between male and females, not only like they go to clinic or they stay home, they rather like the female will like to spend more time to do this preventive stuff since maybe like 30 years old. And for the male, they first will they do not do everything before maybe 45 or 50 until they started to find, okay, sorry, my hair got gray, and my belly is bigger and bigger, whatever, and then they started to panic, but they do not want to spend time every day to like take supplement or something like that. They just want to go to clinic and ask the clinician, so okay, could you give me maybe whatever therapy? I can pay everything, but I would just want to do it once per year or per half year. So once get it done. So they would prefer to go to clinic because the clinic can give them more things to deal with them. So yeah. I think that's also kind of like a very interesting observation. Thanks.
So the easy fix and the quick fix with the immediate results.
So,
okay.
So that's, I always say that at least in China, I always say that the guy is more lazy because they don't want to spend time on this, and despite that they have the money, they're okay. They're happy for spend, but they don't want to spend time. So that's an easy fix, as you say.
Yeah. So staying with males, I cannot not ask you, what do you think about the Do Not Die Brian Johnson's documentary, showcasing that he is taking 120 different supplements a day, so maybe 200 pills, I do not know. So what is your thought? And maybe for the ones who have not watched that Netflix documentary, watch it. There is no food or no eating habit. There is lots is being captured in the kitchen of Brian Johnson with lots of supplements, and there is no table conversation eating. So do you think, so first of all, what do you think about, if you have seen it, taking so many supplements? Secondly, don't we overrate a little bit the supplements, and should we also provide our body a little bit more food with a specialized for our needs?
That's a lot. So I think first, in that case, I think it's too much, at least in my opinion, because supplement, as many people define the supplement, supply the extra things, right? So you still need to take your general, like no matter like a diet, or maybe have a healthy diet, and then also have a healthy sleep, and also exercise a bit. And then you're trying to, if that's not fulfill your needs, then you're going to maybe take the supplement or maybe another like interventions, because that I would say that is some kind of alternative or maybe addiction. So I because you also cannot get the joy of eating. So I think it's one thing that as a human, I think the joy of eating is very important. So that is also the thing that, supplements is like a capsule, right? Most of the supplements capsulated, so you cannot really get the joy. And I don't think that's something I would like. But just getting back to what you just mentioned, that Brian Johnson is also very famous in China. I think he came to China last December. And there are quite a lot of followers. I mean, especially like the biohackers and also the enthusiasts. And I'm happy that at least he make the lay public aware that this healthy longevity concept or maybe the supplement is definitely help you. But I don't encourage everyone, especially the people who actually not really understand what the anti-aging supplement is. Because if you don't know, just don't take it. I think it's better that you understand what you're going to take before you choose to take this or that one. So because you need to also take your self-responsibility for yourself, right? So that's why I would.
Yeah, but I'm happily surprised actually by the Netflix series. So it was quite well, especially for the mental aspects of aging.
Sure,
You're absolutely sure personalization was not there. So don't take so many supplements, and make sure that you use the supplements you need. I think that should be the key message.
All right. Minimize. Because I think when you do everything, there's a kind of like a two sides of the coin, right? You take supplement, might give you some health benefit, but also have maybe potential side effects we just don't know. And take one or two, I think that's fine, because for most of the study, at least in the animal models and also in the human trial, we have some kind of a human trial and animal model that take one or two combination. I think we do know what's going on. But if you're going to take more than 10 and combine together, we just don't know what you're going to create. I mean, maybe that's a very disastrous outcome. We just don't know, I mean, for a long run. So I will be aware to do these things too much, right?
And there are no human studies. Before I go to Dr. Ayla Tochka-Kuric, who has lots of questions from the audience, I only ask you a very short question, short answer. Do you take supplements? And if yes, what and why?
Yes, I do take vitamin because that's I think that's a very kind of like things. I haven't started to take any anti-aging stuff. Maybe I will start next year because I also feel that I reached to a certain age. It would be nice to start to try it. And thank you.
Okay. Ayla, over to you.
Hello, thank you for the great presentation, Professor Yu-Xuan. I'm going to the questions from the audience. And we have many of them. So what are the challenges? What challenges do companies face in ensuring the quality of anti-aging supplements in a market that is experiencing rapid growth? How are issues like product authenticity and ingredient sourcing being addressed?
Okay, that's a very good question. So I can tell you that I started to collaborate with a kind of a supplement CDMO company, because I believe that that's very important to have a scientific background to back those companies to make the products which have a high standard, right? But I have to say that that is something not only the company, but also the regulatory body. Because if there's no regulation, no company willing to invest their money to make the good quality supplements. Because that, of course, you spend more time, right? You spend not only the money to run the clinical trial, because you need to have a kind of trial to show the people that which dosage is kind of safe or maximum dose is better for this. But also, I think it's very important to have a kind of a regulation that to make sure that the company are going to sell and also advertise their product properly. So whether these supplements are working, it can extend the health span and also the lifespan in mice, or maybe in C. elegans, or in fruit fly, or maybe like large animals. I mean, I don't think we have a supplement yet can claim that can extend the human health lifespan. So I think we are not yet. But if we have a supplement can prove that it can extend the health span and also lifespan in multiple animal models, so that we will have a more chance to also work in human in the long run, right? So I think the regulations and also I think the public and also can give some kind of a pushback to the company. But that's the things that actually as a scientist, I think we need to have a more conversations with lay public to let them aware that what is the good standard for supplement or also for the other anti-aging interventions, right? So once they know that, they will also trying to select the supplements what they believe that's come good for them. So I think that's somehow kind of we're trying to do this way in China at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. And then I will go to the second question. So with East Asia leading the longevity market, how are the regional players positioning themselves for global expansion? So what barriers do they face when entering Western or other international markets?
Thanks a lot. I think that's very, very good question. So I'm working with a company that's they're also trying to go abroad in that sense. So I have to say, I think supplement itself is not the biggest challenge because at this moment, the anti-aging supplements, I mean, very, very popular and trendy. I think it's only 5 to maybe maximum 10, right? So you can play a lot of things in terms of ingredient, but you can play how to make the capsule or maybe make the shape of the supplements, like whether you are going to make like a traditional capsule or go to the powder, or maybe have more fun like make like a gummy bear, something like that. For the young people, they would like to just chill, and you can also create a lot of different forms so to take it, right? And some people say that you can also, I mean, to have this kind of like a micro needle to put on your skin and then you absorb that. So I see that there are quite a lot of company also trying to use a different type of things to sell those things, and so that's the first thing. And then the second thing, I think the difference is between Eastern to Western, or maybe between the countries. One of the things like the interest group will be different. So what I'm showing today is mainly the result from China, but maybe if Western country they have a different need, right? They rather say that maybe the men are more care about their facial skin and outlook. So when you design a product in China, you can design those products for women specifically, but when you go to Western countries, so you need to also adapt to their cultures. And also another thing I have to say that at least because I was in Germany, I mean, for a very long time, so I know that at least in Europe and also in United States that we are more keen to take the compound or supplements come from the plant or like eco-friendly stuff, right? But in East Asia, we don't very care about those. I mean, we no matter whether it comes from maybe plant or the animals, we don't care. So I think that is also we need to, when we design the products, we will try to highlight, okay, so those supplements, not only the ingredient, but also the entire things comes from the plant. So that is more kind of like eco-friendly and also maybe also good for the vegetarian. This kind of provide you the vegetarian or vegan options. So that is something we also need to keep in mind in that sense. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts on this question. We have one more. It's about like how early do people actually start consuming these kind of geroprotective anti-aging supplements?
Okay, so I can tell you that if we say it early, so some of my students, they already started to take it. So I think it's around maybe 24, 25 years old. And yeah, because I mean, at that age, you already see the skin start first wrinkle, something like that. And I think also very interesting observation that at least in China, for the youngest generation, so they will spend a lot, they're very hardworking, they would like to spend time to do a lot of work, but they also would like to just take the supplement, just try to compensate. So, and some people they say that I mean I don't have time to maintain my healthy lifestyle, but at least I can take the supplement. So let's just take the supplement. So that is a very interesting thing. And we also have a kind of like a longevity clinic. I heard that in China, I heard that the youngest patient or customer go to the longevity clinic is around 27, 28. I mean, so I think I don't think it's necessary, but yeah, that's they wish, right? Yeah.
That's interesting to hear. Thank you for sharing. I have some more time, so I'm going to. So, is independent funded research more relevant than marketing company research on supplements? So, we did hear that maybe the evidence might not be that important, but do the consumers like see? Does it matter to them? Is the research independently funded or is it a company research? What are your thoughts on that? The ones that
yeah, I think it's a very good question. At the moment, I don't think it's a big issue because supplement is not a drug, right? Supplement is I'm not going to force you to buy. I mean, it's your choice whether you buy this one or the other one. So I don't think if the research is backed by the company, that people will really argue on that because finally, at the end of the day, it's their choice. But if we talk about like the drugs or the other something like you need to go to the hospital, so that is the other story. I heard that at least, during the COVID time or the other things like people will kind of blaming that okay, some of the drugs for the COVID because they're backed by the company, so they don't like it because because they do not have a choice, right? When you go to hospital, the doctor or physician, will give you what they believe is important, but you are as a patient, you don't have a choice to take which brand. So I think that is a completely different setting. So I think that's what I was I'm happy to share. Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much. Wonderful presentation with lots of insights from the Chinese market. I think if I may summarize is be still careful what you take and maybe not more than you say 10, I would say maybe 3, but it depends all on the indication because we know that we are aging so differently, but it was so joyful to really hear. And I think you will have lots of people watching the YouTube to say, okay, I want to be in the supplement market. How do I do that? So they might contact you.
Thanks a lot, Andrea. Yeah, thanks, and so happy to participate this and looking forward to have more maybe conversation and collaboration in the future regarding this topic. Okay.
Thank you so much. If you as audience want to learn more, we have a couple of announcements. There are 3. We have the Healthy Longevity Intensive course organized by the NUS Academy for Healthy Longevity, and that's special for healthcare professionals. And it is, of course, CME accredited, so you get CME points. If you want to learn the latest about gerodiagnostics and gerotherapeutics, come, and especially there's a focus on women's health and on oral health, and it's on the 25th and the 26th of February 2025. Then we have the Founders Longevity Forum Singapore, Unlock Healthy Longevity. Also that is CME accredited. You get points for coming if you're a healthcare professional. And this event is happening at the same week at the 27th and the 28th of this year. And we will bring together investors and entrepreneurs, researchers, clinicians and consumers to really discuss the topic we discussed today. How do we make good products? How do we make sure that it's evidence-based and bring the specialities together to create the ecosystem to live healthier for longer? Then there is the week later, at the 5th and the 6th of March this year, there's the inauguration of Global Conference of Gerophysics. Learn how physics can influence longevity research and practice. And there will be a call for abstracts very, very soon, and a registration will also opening in the next coming days. Then just ending with the next longevity webinar, which is on January 16. John Gruber and Peter Fedojev will be the guests of Brian Kennedy, and they will talk about the conference, talking about gerophysics. We always close with a video, and this time it's dear to my heart because it's the UN Decade of Healthy Aging, and that's the first baseline report. And actually, NUS is presented via people in the UN or Decade of Healthy Aging. So the baseline report is wonderful to not only to watch, but also to read. So if there's more appetite, please do so. I will leave you with saying, take care.
In 2020, the number of people aged 60 and above rose to over 1 billion. That's almost 15% of the world's population, each one an older person who wishes to live a long and healthy life. This means being able to meet everyday basic needs for food, shelter and clothing, stay mobile and get where they want or need to go. It means being able to build and maintain relationships, as well as continue to learn and make decisions. And it's also about being able to contribute to family and communities. This is healthy aging. It requires that our mental and physical capacities are maintained and supported by our environments. So even if our capacities decline, we can still do what we value. We can all contribute to adapting and strengthening these environments, working together to build up evidence, learning from countries, existing programs, and of course, from older people themselves. If we measure, understand, and act together, we can make sure everyone has the same opportunity for healthy aging wherever they may be. This is the vision of the Decade of Healthy Aging. The baseline report for the decade gives us a snapshot of where we are in 2020 and where we aim to be by 2030. We must work together and act now in order to reach all older people.
I'm feeling like sunshine, like springtime, like something's in the water and I'm taking a deep dive. I'm feeling so weightless, like I'm gonna make it, and nothing in the universe can take this. I can see it clearly now, nothing gonna bring me down.